The Blended Learning Academy, we have kids from age 4 to 7th grade, 31 of them in 2 classrooms, 3 classrooms actually, learning at their own pace based on diagnostics with 2 of our own teachers hired by the county office, Maritza Maham and Jennifer Pirzini. And we talked about this concept of designing a one-room schoolhouse, kind of a blended learning academy. Several years ago, we started doing field trips knowing that we were going to implement a one-to-one environment with iPads. So we traveled to mostly charter schools because charter schools were where most of the one-to-one was happening, and a couple of school districts that had a bring your own device or a one-to-one initiative. And so when we got to schools like Rocket Ship Learning and KIPP Academy, some of the more innovative places, we saw a simulation of a one-room schoolhouse in the sense that there are kids of multiple ages, multiple grades in the same space, using adults in different ways to try to personalize their learning. And when kids knew what their learning goals were, the curriculum instruction was provided at their level, they excelled. At KIPP, for example, we saw 100% kids proficient and advanced in reading. And these were high poverty, low SES areas. Granted, they applied to be in the academy, but besides the point, they were having their needs met. And so in the age of accountability, where we've standardized everything over the last 10 years, it's been really hard to break free from that model. So we're using the summertime in a risk-free environment with kids just to see what works and to try what we saw here with our own teachers and our own kids. And we're learning a lot. One thing I've learned was we thought that technology would make teaching easier. I don't think teaching will ever be easy. It's always going to be hard work. And we're learning from Rich and Jennifer that even though we have all the tools and all the resources, it doesn't get any easier. I think classroom management becomes magnified when kids can be anywhere, anytime through a device. To get them back to where they need to be sometimes is a little bit difficult because kids are very engaged by the screen. We've also learned that planning and design, whereas we thought the computer would do a lot of that, it becomes a lot more impactful on the teacher because you have 10,000 times more data now than you had before, which there's more decisions to make. I'm excited about the opportunity to see what things kids should be learning through the computer, what things kids should be learning with the teacher, and how grouping should take place. With a one-room schoolhouse, we have Sergio, who's 4 years old in there, and he can't read, but one of the unintended learnings were the relationships that form between older and younger kids. So I think in a multi-age type of environment, this can really work. And it breaks down the walls of schools as far as grade levels if principals and teachers, and in our district they have complete autonomy in how they group kids, and they complete autonomy over the curriculum instruction. So we're creating an opportunity to see this is one way of doing this. How can you do this at your own school site? Because in reality, every classroom is its own one-room schoolhouse. In a typical 4th grade classroom, the ranges of kids' ability and needs are this big. Whether you're in a high SES or a low SES, any school district, it's the same case. And a few years ago, we had to differentiate instruction. We had to manually plan, design, and prepare curriculum. Now with technology, we have the ability to personalize the instruction with more precision, more efficiency, and tools that engage kids. The question is, which tools are the right tools? Because there's a plethora of resources, and we want to make sure that teachers and kids are part of the decision-making process. And that's part of what we're doing here is talking to kids after school. Hey, what did you like? What didn't you like? Did it help you meet your goals? And I think the project at the end of the academy, when they have to demonstrate with evidence which applications helped their learning and use their own student data to do that, will be really telling.
On Friday, Dr. Miyashiro has invited your parents and some other educators to come by and to listen to your presentations about what you've learned the last 2 weeks here at the Blended Learning Academy. Today you'll begin working on a presentation with a group where you're sitting. Those are your group members, and you're going to be focusing on a few things. In your presentation, your teachers would like to see that you discuss your goal progress, and we'd also like to see that you include some information about each group member. While you're mentioning your goal progress, we'd like for you to please name 2 goals. You'll also want to name some apps or programs that helped you to achieve those goals. What you need to think about with your team is how are you going to present your ideas? Will you use pages There is a template in Pages that has a poster that you can create together as a team. Will you use Keynote? Or would you like to make an iMovie? So that's just a few things for you guys to think about today when we start work on your group project. Remember that you will be presenting your group projects when? On what day?
Friday.
On Friday. So we want to make sure that we're prepared and ready to go by Friday for your presentations.
We have lots of risk takers and innovators in our district and have been doing this their whole career, I would say, with project-based learning. And as technology has become available, we've had pioneers. I think what's going to happen is that if we do our job at the district level and personalize the professional development the way we want to personalize instruction for kids, then we'll be able to do more faster. So with creating iBooks and digital resources for teachers to access their learning at their own pace, I think we'll see greater traction. And then rather than try to answer their questions up front, they'll be able to ask the questions and we can provide on-time professional development. We always talk about on-time PD, but out of convenience and because of lack of funds, we tend to do these drive-by professional developments where we bring all the teachers together and we deliver instruction in the way that we're trying to move away from the classroom. As a district level, we're trying to create opportunities for teachers to learn at their own pace, have resources that are ready for them, and then when they need the human interaction with our director of technology or myself, we can be available. And the principals will be the quarterbacks of their team to make sure that the teachers have the right thing at the right time. One of the things I'm excited about also is it's an opportunity as we transition to the Common Core standards and away from publishers. And the publishers are in a race to try to catch up so that we can be consumers still. But if we can create opportunities for teachers to design their own content, put it together, and open source that and share that with all the districts in the county and the state and free ourselves from the textbook companies and maybe even some of the software companies, then we'll be able to provide high quality, low cost education and allow the teachers to be at the center of decision making.